Throughout the world over history, cultures have put enormous resources into creating rites of passage for young males in order to prevent the young male's aggression, which is not yet aided by wisdom or love, from destroying the community.
A Band of Brothers comes from the Shakespeare St. Crispin's Day speech. They're facing this incredibly hard battle. They've had all sorts of difficulties in their journey up until that point, and he gives this rousing speech.
We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
It's kind of summing up that spirit of let's work together. Let's be the best that we can be in trying to achieve something here. I was desperately seeking a way to bring that depth of understanding of self and psychology, and particularly male psychology, into the field that I was working in a way that would be accessible, safe, and that would be powerful and work. So I met Michael when I did that weekend back in 2002, and we got together and we started a conversation with a wider group of people who were interested in the same thing, and we created a Band of Brothers out of that purpose, that goal.
Well, if you think about communities and the safety of communities, they're most sort of at risk through unsocialised young men, really. And community is most broken in the male line. You know, there's a mutual suspicion that goes on between generations of men. The young men feel disconnected from the older men. They feel resentful towards them sometimes, particularly if they hadn't had a meaningful connection with an older man. And the older men feel fearful of the younger men and their kind of aggressive energy. And the hard-earned wisdom of these men is not getting passed on.
So a Band of Brothers is literally a circle of men. And the key to it is having the right men trained and willing to put themselves through their own rite of passage and see the world through that perspective. And it's an emotional, intense experience for them, and they find it a meaningful and worthwhile thing to do, to be there in an authentic way for younger men, the next generation.
We had a meeting with the police service and the probation service and talked about what might be possible, what we could do. And some money was found to run this as a pilot project to see what the impact is, to see whether it will work. We received a list of 20 names of young men who are involved with the criminal justice system, currently with probation, on some sort of supervision order. And we've met with 19 out of those 20 and offered them the opportunity to come on this weekend.
If you say you're going to do something, I want you to give 100%.
Yep.
Don't sell yourself short.
Which is the start of a 3-month-long personal development program. So this is the big start. This is the rites of passage. This is the initiatory journey that bonds those young men together with each other and creates a sense of collective identity, but also bonds them with their mentor. And that's basically what we're trying to do this weekend.
It's not an overnight transformation. It probably takes about 18 months of imitation, immersion in the language and first-hand exemplary behaviour, just being around. It probably takes that long.
A past can destroy a man. It could turn someone into a psychopath, you know. It's what turns people into prison and stuff, you know. Their past just kills their mind because they haven't had that support they need.
Yeah, trying to learn coping strategies to deal with my anger and stuff that's happened in the past that sort of triggers my offending behaviour, do you know what I mean?
It's much easier to take a drug, steal a car, quick fix, immediate gratification. It's a much more difficult process to form a relationship, find a meaningful purpose for your life.
Got involved with the wrong crowd and committed a robbery, and yeah, was sent to prison for it.
Just wasn't sober, but I got good like 2 or 3 years. and they just found it all, just didn't bother getting rid of it because I was fucking high the whole time.
As a society, I don't know if we're really being accountable and responsible for the fact that so many of these young men repeat over and over the same cycle of drugs, violence and imprisonment. We return offenders to the streets more traumatised and sociopathic than when they first went away, because of the violence that prisons ignore and condone. We want offenders to have self-worth, so we destroy their self-worth. We want them to be responsible, so we take away their responsibilities. We want them to learn to be part of a community, so we isolate them from community.
And if I'd have had this before, I don't think I would have went to prison. And that's, do you know what I mean? Because like, I've had some structure, someone like, you can come up the allotments on the weekend and come here and, do you know what I mean, chill, relax and talk about stuff, and you have the meetings in the week, then you have the Thursday meetings with your mentor, so you feel like you've got a unit, and there's always support because they say they make a commitment to meet up with us once a week, and whereas like your dad would say, I'll meet you on Wednesday and that, and let you down. You think, oh, fuck, you've been let down all your life, do you know what I mean? And you think, oh yeah, all right, and he actually rings you, and you know, and you think, oh yeah, and you go and meet up with them, and they stick to their word, which is good.
It's done the weekends, and it's like, ever since then, you know, I've had a decent outlook on life, you know, I see a future now.
And that's what this circle is about, is creating a community that might not exist there currently for you guys, and we're creating that space for you.
You lot obviously want to stop it happening to us before we get to like your age kind of thing, yeah? So you go through us, but then when we get it at our age, we're sitting there thinking, well, we could tackle it even that little bit younger.
And all of a sudden it's like, it's okay to cry. You're more of a man to cry. Definitely. I learned that, definitely.
But everything here is brilliant, but it ain't easy. It gets to points where you get pushed to do stuff, like open stuff up that you don't want to open up, you know? And that's what got me clean on drugs and everything. That's how I stopped everything, because I had so much in here that was locked away, and I couldn't let it out because I was afraid.
Danny? Well, struggling. I was like quite scared for a bit, so I just stood still, like froze up, didn't know what to do.
The overall context of rites of passage, growing up and being an adult man is the context, but it's a three-stage movement from dependency to independency, to learn to stand on your own feet. And once you've done that, you can learn about interdependency, how we're all dependent on each other in this world, and understand not only that you have a responsibility to participate, but that you have something unique to offer.
Yeah, it's just nice to know that you've got like a family network, and do you know what I mean, everyone's done it before and they can relate to what's going on, and you feel like wanted, do you know what I mean?
You get it in there and in your heart, you know?
Loving, caring, happy, normal, just tranquil, serene, chilled.
I'm great now. It's like I'm living a new life that I always wanted to live, you know?
If I want stability in my life.
No, just madness and drugs and alcohol and fucked up shit, yeah.
I've said it to so many people since something that you need to go and do this. Like, I've sorted my life out. I've done that, yeah. And I want to be there. Determination.
Who are we? The Band of Brothers!